I guess talk about this week's Sunday's game against LA. It's like the third time you played them in the last 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, definitely excited about the games coming up. It's an opportunity if you get the right results in these next 2 games to go to a final. That's something that this club hasn't done in MLS. So looking forward to trying to win a cup.
Any similarities between you and Oba and your style of play and Keane and Donovan?
I'll say it's a little bit different because Landon plays more on the left, where he has in some of the games where basically me and Oba have been more of a partnership where we're always connected. They still find each other well in the game, but me and Oba, we do a little bit more of the like the give and goes and the link up play, overlapping and stuff through the middle. But yeah, I mean they have a great team, has some great players on it. We're a team that also I think has a lot of quality, and looking forward to the challenge of seeing who will be the best from these next 2 games.
From a striker's perspective, what do you think it is about that duo that makes them effective?
Well, I think both of them can score goals, and if you give them the ball with time and space, they also can pick players out and create assists. But I think that's something that we have players on our team that can do the same. But yeah, they've shown throughout the season that they've performed well. But I think that at the same time, we have players who've shown through the season we've performed well also.
What do you feel would be the game plan going into the game over there? Would it be more defensive, or would it be just the same?
I mean, you need to be aware of things defensively and stay compact and make it difficult on your opponent. Try to limit the opportunities that they create, or try to limit the opportunities that they get in terms of trying to make it difficult for them to get good looks in front of goal. But at the same time, we got to have the confidence to go forward. And when we have opportunities to make things happen in the final third, be confident, be brave enough to take those risks and take those chances and try to score as well. So, it's going to be a tough game, and it's a game that we're going to have to manage in the right way. And we'll look at tapes, and also we'll go over things in training to figure out what's going to be best for us.
Since the last 2 regular season games were against LA, is there like any carryover that you guys, the last 2 games you played were basically this series, home and away down there?
Yeah, I mean it's different because that was for the league, and it didn't have away goal implications. Where this is it's a clean slate, and this is the playoffs, and it's an opportunity to do something different. So I'm sure it'll still be 2 difficult games, but we got confidence from those 2 games in terms that they were 2 games we needed to get the right result to win the league, and for us to go to the finals, we're going to from these 2 games try to get the right result as well.
The national team wrapped up its 2014 today. Kind of looking back over the year as a whole, how would you kind of rate your guys this year?
Yeah, it was a good year. I mean, the most important thing was the World Cup. We performed well. A lot of people didn't think we'd get out of our group. Some said it was the group of death. So, I thought we performed well. And we took the knockout stage game into overtime, and we were still pushing at the end to try to get that equalizer. So I think 2014 was a good year for soccer in the U.S. because when major competitions come around, you want to step up and perform well and get the country behind you, and that's what's going to help development. People believing in the sport and putting money into it and trying to develop the youth so that it can continue the game here in the States to get stronger and stronger. So I think in terms of that also we did a good job.
After the World Cup, they've been bringing a lot of the younger guys to kind of refresh the cycle. As a veteran, is that exciting at all to kind of see some of these fresh legs come in and kind of rejuvenate the squad?
I mean, for sure. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about the future, planning for not only the next World Cup, but the one after that. It's a process where you have to get guys confidence, got to get guys experience, and the only way that they're going to get that is getting games. And so everybody's fighting for spots in the team, and I think you'll see who are the players that are going to step up in terms of how things go in 2015, going into the Gold Cup, and even into 2016, the Copa America that's going to be here in the States.
Did you see the game today that they played at all?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch the game. I was driving into training today, and it wasn't working when I was at home. I was trying to watch the first half. For some reason, at my house, it wasn't working.
Having played for both Bruce and Ziggy, what are some parallels between their styles and how they kind of run things, or are they both pretty different? And what have you kind of taken from learning from two of the icons of coaches in U.S. soccer?
Yeah, I mean, they're both very confident managers, very successful in their trade in terms of what they've done in their career, not only the college but also the MLS level. Even Bruce at the national team level has done really well. They're coaches that have a winning mentality and always figure out ways to get their teams to perform well in big games. So, they're winners, and I think that's why you've seen their careers be so good for so long, so consistent over time. It's just their mentality and their approach and how they're able to, year after year, get their teams to perform well.
Clint, you've had a very rigorous last 12 months. I mean, you had the end of this Sounder season last year, EPL tour, training, World Cup. How would you describe how demanding this has been, both emotionally and psychologically, as well as physically?
It's been good for me, especially in dealing with the injuries that I had when I came to MLS last August after not having a preseason. I had a hamstring, then I had my shoulder, and then when I went with the national team, I had a calf injury. So for me, I was frustrated in 2013, and that's why I wanted to go on loan to Fulham and try to get my body right. And then I'm just glad I was able to go over there, get that fitness, and get that sharpness back and bring it to the MLS. And I think this year went how I had it planned in my mind. I wanted to do well in MLS, which I've done, and I wanted to do well with the national team in the World Cup, which I was able to do. So, yeah, it's demanding, but at the same time, for me, I felt I needed to do those things in the off season so that I could have a good year. And even though it's been long, it's definitely been rewarding for me.
Have you ever been through an extended period like this? I mean, you've done MLS and European before with World Cup, but I just wondered if this was the most in terms of either time management or body management.
Yes, both. I mean, this has been the most as far as travel standpoint, as far as games, and as far as the amount of time. So I'll be definitely looking forward to the break in the off season, but at the same time, this is the best time to still be playing because you have a lot to play for in the MLS Cups, in the playoffs, trying to push for an MLS Cup, and that's been the goal since I came here, is to try to help this team win an MLS Cup. So that's where my mind is right now, and then hopefully we're able to get the job done, and that will make the off season even more sweet.
Was this 2 weeks off? Was that a help physically in terms
for
of rest?
me? Yes. Mm-hmm. For me, I was pretty beat up, pretty tired. From all the travel and everything. So for me, it made a big difference, and I'm feeling fresh and looking forward to these 2 games.
Omar Gonzalez has historically this season had some problems with yellow cards, gotten penalties called on him. Does that go into any tactics of knowing in your defense? Are you trying to expose that at all, or kind of is there a way that as a striker you can kind of push their buttons without pushing their buttons to get calls?
Don't look at it like that, really. I mean, he's a good player. He's showing it over his MLS career, and even breaking into the national team. But we go out to try to focus on our game and how to figure out ways to create opportunities for ourselves and to create mismatches when we can, and trying to be confident and play on the front foot, and when we can play forward quickly and play between the channels and get them facing their own goal. I think that's when we cause problems and create chances for ourselves. So we look more at those things than I guess at the other tactics.